Hi everybody. So it's Tuesday evening and yeah, you're looking at my computer screen again. This is a Google satellite view of San Antonio, downtown San Antonio. And so can't see much. What I want to do is I'm going to show you two really fabulous depots that are in San Antonio. Imagine at one time they had more than that, but there's two left that have been restored very beautifully and repurposed for other uses other than depots. But I'm going to show you those. So one of them down here where it says the SP, that is now a wedding venue. San Antonio Union Station is the new Amtrak depot they built just south of it. They did a good job. They made it look historic, like it fits in, but it's obviously a modern depot. And then out here to the left, you take Commerce Street, and there's a really fabulous depot here, which I could basically only look at the outside of, in a way. The security guard wouldn't let me walk around and take pictures, obviously, inside, but she did let me take, like a panorama view of the inside of it, anyhow, for the lobby. Anyhow, so I'm going to show you some pictures of those. I've also shot couple trains, not a whole lot moving, more stationary stuff. And up here in this corner is a locomotive rebuilding facility. And so I will save that to show that in with the other trains. And hopefully I can see some more trains tomorrow night and maybe post some moving trains on Thursday or so before I leave. But anyhow, let's get into the two different stations. So this is called Sunset Station. This is actually the Amtrak station for San Antonio. As you can see, the siding here has a lot of places where you can hook up private cars to it. And the old Southern Pacific station is right up here. Walk up to it, and I believe this is probably the freight station at one time. But we'll walk around here for a minute. Actually, while I was paying the parking receipt, the train that I just watched, it was switching, trundled by going this way. Oh, and by the way, that's the Alamo Dome right there. So it must be a transfer run to somewhere. So pretty cool area. We'll walk up and take a look at the old depot. It's now like a venue for weddings. So you guys know I sort of like industrial architecture. I like the sign paint on that building. That's pretty cool. And the reason for the slide is it's a haunted house now. I guess that's how you exit the haunted house. That's pretty cool. Look at that gargoyle up on the corners. It's a pretty neat thing. Okay, I'm going to swivel around. Here's the station, and they have an old Southern Pacific steam engine here. It's 282. The Amtrak station that I just showed you was way down at the end of that covered platform down there. You see all the private car hookups. And as I swivel on around, you see the stained glass window, sunset route, and I don't know, can't remember my Roman numerals. I'm sure someone will tell me what year that is. I can't remember what that is. Probably, I'm going to say it's 1902. 1,500 4 C's and a 2. I'm going to say it's 1902 is my guess. And there is an Amtrak car parked here, hooked up. I don't know if that's somebody's private car or what it is, but it doesn't really look like a private car. But it's definitely sitting there, so hooked up with power. Here's a better view of the engine. I'll walk up there and shoot the plaque that tells about it. Pretty thing. So here you go. I'm not going to read it to you. If you want to read it all, you can pause the video and read it. I haven't heard anything about restoring it to operable condition though. I haven't seen any progress. And there's some technical information about it. Read that. Again, you might have to pause the video. Really good to see it here. This is the inside of the station looking through the main entrance. Pretty grand. So that window there is on the opposite end. You can see the ceiling there. So this is back when rail travel was pretty elegant. So now, like I said, it's a venue for weddings now. It's a really neat place, and San Antonio should be proud to have it. All right, here's from the side street. There's the engine. There's the haunted house and the Amtrak car that I showed you. This area of San Antonio is east of the interstate, and it was kind of run down for a while, but it's starting to get restored over here. Starting to get, you know, San Antonio is a big tourist destination, so there's the Alamo Dome. So I can't go too far the other way, so starting to revitalize around here too, which I'm glad to see. So it's the other end of the depot. That's the stained glass window I just showed you from inside. And of course they've got all this fenced off and a fountain. I doubt that's, you know, original there. They've got a pavilion, but I do believe that's the freight house right there. Sort of unusual station hours. That's because that's when the two Amtrak trains come in. Hard to get them in daylight here in San Antonio. So they both come in during the night. Not sure the exact schedule, but I've looked it up before and thought, you know, maybe I could catch one. But no, I'm always at work or it's dark. And there's an interesting modeling detail. I've never seen that before. So it's right across from the Amtrak station. 4 sets of wheels, I guess. I don't know how you could change one out right here, but I guess you could. Okay, we're on the west side of San Antonio now, West Commerce Street. Swivel around, sort of see downtown. So this is the International and Great Northern Railroad Depot, which I think later became Missouri Pacific. Don't know all the history on it. Obviously it looks pretty ornate. If you Google it online, look at the history, it's pretty cool. Actually, it became very run down and was thinking about being torn down. And that Indian on top somehow disappeared. And they found it later on when they decided to restore the building in a junkyard or something and put it back on top. So I'm going to see if I can go inside. I don't know if I can or not. If not, at least I'll walk around the building. So the railroad tracks themselves are on the other side of that wall, and there's just a couple left there now. I'll try to get a better shot. I'll at least walk around the building and get different shots of it. As you can see, it says the International and Great Northern Railroad, so I'll see if I can go inside. It's a pretty cool place. Okay, so I'm back outside. Just another view. I was stopped by a security guard inside. I was not allowed to go around the building at all. Just stood there and took pictures of the inside, panned around. There's the railroad tracks. I assume that this used to be full of tracks and have a platform or something, but don't know what it looked like back then. Really cool old mill over there too. So I hope you like seeing this depot. I wish I could show you more. But, this is a Pretty rundown section of town, although it is starting to get built up, as you can see with this rotunda and everything. It's like the bus headquarters, I guess. But there's pretty rough area. Wouldn't want to be down here after night probably. But I'm going to put this in my Real Trains playlist, but I did want to share some things. I went to Dibbles Hobbies today. Every time I'm in San Antonio, I go there. It's the only train shop in San Antonio, and it's basically primarily model trains. I mean, they have gaming stuff and things like that, some model kits, but it's a train shop for the most part. Good selection of, and they've got more Z-scale than any place I've ever seen. I always patronize local hobby shops. I could have got this cheaper, probably from somewhere else, maybe, but there's not very many brick and mortar hobby shops around anymore. So, I don't mind spending a few extra dollars every now and then to actually go in person and to look through their stuff and buy something. So, probably spent more than I needed to, but I don't regret it. I don't regret supporting them at all, because I know COVID was probably hard on them. So I picked up 2 passenger cars. They're C&O. And the reason why they're C&O is because, like I said, the Hocking Valley Railroad, which was an old Hocking Valley Scenic Railroad based in Nelsonville, Ohio, had a steam engine just like the one I bought, basically, or close to it, 280. They don't have it anymore. Now they've got an 060 that they run. But anyhow, during that time, and they used to go to Oak Hill sometimes to run steam excursions during the Oak Hill festival they had. And they've got pictures of that engine sitting in front of the depot. And I thought, well, it'd be kind of cool to have a couple C&O passenger cars, since C&O passenger cars ran on that Hocking Valley line. Maybe not, I don't know what the Hocking Valley Railroad has, Scenic Railroad has, as far as real cars to pull. I've only been on it once, and that was years and years. That's probably 30 years ago. But I thought, these would look nice. I've got, obviously the observation car, the president's car at the end here, and I've got a, just like a coach. They had a couple more cars, but I thought, I don't need a 4-car train. I'll just have a 2-car train. Railroad's not that big. I also bought a Southern Service South boxcar, because the one I had was too big, and I sold it. And I've got a picture of Miller Distribution with a Southern boxcar sitting next to it, and I've always been looking for one to sort of duplicate that. So now I have one. And the Gulfmobile in Ohio, the Kansas City Southern line that runs through Tupelo now, was originally Gulfmobile in Ohio. So it's sort of my tribute to Tupelo, having that boxcar. And it is a modern boxcar. It doesn't have a roof walk. Neither one of these boxcars have roof walks. So they fit into my scheme pretty well. So it's a 40-foot boxcar that was modernized and had the roof walk taken off. You can see the ladders have been shortened on it. So got those there. Another thing that I got, one of the subscribers said, hey, those are really good looking trees. I've never seen a tree house on a model railroad. And I thought, I'm going to take the challenge. And one of the houses, backyards of the houses, I'm going to try to build a little tree house and put in one of those trees. So I need to find the smallest strip wood I could find. It's not going to be anything elaborate. If you ever watch Treehouse Masters, it's not going to look like that. It's going to be like a tree house I built when I was a kid, which is basically usually not tall enough to stand up in. You had like boards nailed to the tree to climb up. You had a little piece of plywood as the floor, maybe with some braces on it, and some walls, maybe a flap for the door, like a burlap sack or something, if you're lucky, and then you had some kind of roof on it. Those are the tree houses that I had as a kid. They weren't these elaborate things, and Dad never helped build them. It was just us kids building them. So anyhow, I may try to put a little representation of a tree house in one of the backyards. Give me something fun to do. And the last thing I did was, another thing that's really cool about this hobby shop is this magazine is from 2015, July 2015. What they do is they take their old magazines and they mark them down every year $1. So it went from $4.46 to $3.46 to $2.46 to $1.46. So I got it for 46 cents. So I got 3 of them from 2015. Just something to read in the hotel room. So I don't feel bad at all about recycling these when I'm done or giving them to a friend or something. But this particular one has an article about Sand Patch, which is a famous place on the B&O Railroad. So I'm looking forward to reading that article. All right, I've probably talked enough, so I'll end this here. Tomorrow night I will post the switching part 4 video, and then I will hopefully see some more live trains tomorrow night also, and be able to put together a video to post Thursday night, and I'm coming home Friday. So everybody stay safe.